We're at the Siegel Select on Palo Verde and the freeway in Tucson, Arizona. It's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon. There's been a hostage situation going on since about 8 o'clock this morning, where they evacuated most of this area of the hotel that we're looking at. The open window where the policeman is the room where it all happened. Some guy killed his girlfriend apparently across town, ended up here, said he was going to kill everybody, knocked on a bunch of doors. Finally someone opened one. He went inside and took them all hostage. They were able to get all the hostages freed, but I believe that the suspect has killed himself. Probably got tired of waiting for the cops to come in after him. But I saw SWAT come down with shields, and then there was an explosion, and then apparently the door was still barricaded. They've been using the front window instead of unbarricading it so that they can document it, probably. There was some gas inside, so they must have threw a tear gas in there. I don't know if the explosion that we heard was the suspect killing himself or if it was the tear gas, so we're not sure. No one knows. For anybody that just showed up, it's been a hostage situation in Tucson since 8 o'clock this morning. It's now 6 o'clock in the afternoon here in Tucson at the Siegel Selects on Palo Verde and the freeway. A man at 8 o'clock in the morning or so, a man was beating on doors. I've learned since that he may have killed his girlfriend across town earlier than that. And finally someone here at the hotel opened the door. He broke in, held them all hostage, eventually let them all go, and then killed himself at some point. But it's been an all-day thing. I don't know the timeline of any of this. But what you're looking at is the photographer and a couple of police officers documenting the room and the scene. They have not brought anyone out. And that's where we're at. Hey, what's going on, man? So I'll just keep repeating the facts that I know every now and then for people that are jumping in. I know I don't have a lot of viewers, and you might get tired of hearing me tell you what's going on here, but it's been a major crisis hostage situation with SWAT, the Sheriff's Department, the Tucson Police Department, even Oro Valley Police were here. Apparently 8 o'clock in the morning, a man who is suspected of killing his wife across town knocked on a bunch of doors until someone opened a door, and then he breached it, held them hostage. Eventually, way into the day, he let the hostages go, including a 12-year-old boy named Matthew. And probably had something to do with the shooting at the Apple the other day or something. I don't know. That's just my guess. They alluded to it on the news earlier that there was more to this than meets the eye. But they're now inside where there's gas still. They have gas masks on. There's a few people inside. There's a photographer outside. I have some static video where you'll get to see the explosion. I'm not sure if it was his gunshot that killed himself that I heard, that we got on tape, or if it was gas. But yeah, my eyes are really bad, and I will definitely edit the field later. I couldn't even tell the difference between a T and an R at this point. I've been staring at this little screen all day. So I apologize for any typos. But like I said, there's been a hostage situation all day long. All the danger is over. They are documenting the crime scene at this point. We've all been kind of held back over at the Wendy's and the Waffle House and an area behind the hotel. I had a great view earlier, but I was kicked off the premises by the manager. His name is Andrew, and he's the manager of the Siegel Select. If anybody would like to tell him he's an asshole, I wouldn't, and I wouldn't advise you to. But if you'd like to, you could do that. So, anyways, there's been a hostage situation. 8 o'clock in the morning, a man broke into an apartment or a hotel room here at the Siegel Suites and took everybody hostage in the room. Eventually, they talked him into letting everyone go, and eventually he killed himself or something. But right now the room's full of gas. Anybody that's in there is in a gas mask, and they're documenting the scene. You've got detectives on scene, you've got photographers, and probably a coroner rolling up at any point now. But that's the situation. I will have some static footage from the explosion that we heard. I'm not sure if that was him killing himself or if it was gas. I'm almost positive it was just the tear gas grenade. But that's the situation. And I've kind of just been hanging out to see if we could figure out if for sure he's dead. I haven't got confirmation on that. I did talk to a detective just now. So he said that most of everything that I've heard is accurate. He didn't give me the details on whether the guy's dead or not, but as you can see there, they're barely unbreaching the front door. He must have had the couch or something up against it, and they had to go through the window to they've been using the window to crawl in and out. And most of the time that I've been filming static, I had the doors wrong. I've been filming right next door to it, or even one door down to the left. It's kind of hard to tell from way back at Wendy's what's going on. But that's the scene. They are shrinking a hostage situation. Really? Yeah, I guess the guy killed himself. So. Most of the people that live here are just coming home from work, and they have no idea that this has even been going on. Many of them are out in the desert on the back side of this hotel. The police have had them sitting there. They've given them some water. It's about it. Someone was nice enough to bring them a bag of Wendy's. And I've got some footage from different views that I'll post later, static. And try to tie this all together, maybe just edit it all together for you. Nothing like being a fly on the wall inside the hotel room, but there's, obviously I'm out here by a tree, giving you some outstanding under a tree footage. And if the general manager, Andrew, sees me, he's gonna run me out of here again. And I would never ask anyone to call the Siegel Select on Palo Verde and Irvington in Tucson and tell Andrew what you think of a guy who runs citizen journalists off. But if you were to do that, I guess that you're right. So here we are. Outstanding footage, outstanding under a tree. Literally. You're not going to get this on the news, folks. Only here, where it's absolutely 100% free. They are probably dealing with some real carnage inside. In Tucson, I know some of you guys are in different places in Canada and Minnesota and different places, and I know you like the audit videos. I know you like the interaction with the cops and the owning of the cops and the the violation of rights and smacking the cops around a little bit verbally. But unfortunately, in Tucson, James Freeman ruined it for everybody, and he smacked him around so hard that basically all I can do is walk up on a scene and get as close as the yellow tape, and no one ever talks to me. If they do, they're really nice to me. So you're probably not going to see too many of those direct D type videos, any good you know, shit stirring videos or anything where the cops are stirring all the shit and the people are just trying to get some footage. So I'm in Tucson, Arizona at Palo Verde and Irvington. We're at the Siegel Select Hotel, which is a dump and you should never stay here. Apparently, a man who has been rumored to have killed his girlfriend earlier at a different part of town by Reed Park was banging on doors this morning until someone finally opened one. He breached the apartment, the hotel room, where he held a family hostage. He let everyone go except for a 12 or 13-year-old boy named Matthew, and eventually let that guy go as well. And then apparently by the end of this, the conclusion is that he killed himself. And that is not confirmed. None of this is confirmed. This is just what I've gathered, talking to locals and paying attention, and even getting some confirmation from the gentleman in the suit on the second floor there, who is a detective. He kind of confirmed just now, and I have that static. I have a whole bunch of footage static that I'll post later. You guys will get to see the breach of the window, maybe. Definitely get to hear the sound of the breach of the window, unless that was his gunshot taking himself out. I don't know. There's rumor that he let a bullet fly earlier today, and that may have been what killed him. He may have killed himself way earlier, and they're just now breaching the hotel room to find out what the situation was. But as you can see, the officer on the second floor now by the door is pushing his way into the door in the center of the screen. And so he must have barricaded it with a couch or you know, refrigerator or whatever he had on hand. They're inside taking lots of photos. They have to document everything before anybody can get in there. So now people are starting to get in. They've got some light on the situation because they turned the electricity off earlier to try to sweat him out of there. And at 105 today, I think, or 103 today, there's a pretty good chance that that's why he killed himself. I don't know. So yeah, he's probably still over here in the hallway where he decided he was going to be a complete prick to me. The only guy around here that wasn't staying here, he knew I didn't stay here, so he told me to leave. And he was kind of a real dick about it. You know, I don't mind him telling me to leave. It is his responsibility, and he is the manager. And if he asked me to leave, that would have been fine, but he didn't. He was like the cops on some of these videos that you see where they just love to abuse their authority and get in your face. So he's lucky he didn't get knocked the fuck out, but I don't feel like going to jail today, so there you have it. They're wearing masks. They're the people that are inside are wearing gas masks, or the people that just came out from inside are wearing gas masks. And tragic scene. I'm glad the kid's okay. I'm glad the whole family got out. Apparently no one died except for the suspect and his girlfriend, apparently. If there is a girlfriend, that's the rumor. I'm sure they don't like me filming them from here, but unfortunately I'm on public property and the tape is down, so if I see anything coming out in a bag or anything, I'll probably just move the camera so you guys don't have to deal with that shit. Unless, of course, you guys give me a bunch of ones. In which case, I'll keep the camera there. $11 ones to be exact. as per usual, TPD, the Sheriff's Department, even Oro Valley, they all use this as an opportunity to give themselves a real-world exercise. I'm not sure that I'm glad anyone died. As far as I know, this guy killed his girlfriend, came over here, took a family hostage, even a 12-year-old boy. And if he killed himself, then maybe that's better that we don't have to pay for the trial. I don't know what I feel about all that, and it's really not, you know, my job to give you an opinion about it. But if he did murder somebody, then there's no guessing why he killed himself. You know, it's a lot of time in prison, and anybody who's been in a stinky old prison would probably rather grow some balls and kill themselves than go to prison for 25 to 30 years or whatever it is that you'd get for that. Especially on top of a hostage situation, which would have to run consecutive with his other charges because it's a completely different scene. It didn't happen at one time, so it would be completely different charges. So by the time he's done with it, he'd have 30, 35, 40 years, who knows. Yeah, all around it is a bad situation, Val. I agree with you. And I'm not happy. I'm not smiling. I'm not laughing about anything that happened here today. I'm just glad to bring you guys some news and get some use out of the YouTube channel. I'd rather be out auditing and you know, teaching cops about the First Amendment and doing all kinds of other things like that. But unfortunately, the climate in Tucson isn't that way anymore. These cops don't talk to me at all. If they do, they're very nice to me, and they put up tape like it's going out of style and keep you wherever they want you. They use it as a barrier to the First Amendment, and they're getting away with it legally so far. I unfortunately don't have $30,000 to try to challenge that rule or law or whatever it is that you want to call what the mayor's set up here. They did not get the guy out. He's dead, apparently, from what I understand. He killed himself. And they are documenting the entire scene very thoroughly with a fine-tooth comb and a camera. They're not going to bring him out until they have enough of a idea of what exactly went down in there so that they can have it all documented. Yeah, that's the news that I heard as well, Eric. From what I understand, he killed his wife somewhere over off of 22nd near Reed Park. That's the rumor on the streets, of course. Another rumor is that he was involved in the police shooting on 29th Street at the Apple Hotel, or the Apple Apartments, and maybe that's also why. But from what I hear, he killed his wife this morning, so that could just be a rumor and just what people are saying. But I don't know why they're using flashlights when they could just flip a breaker and turn on the lights. Hey Cobra, how are you, brother? Thanks for letting me know he's in the room, Val. I missed that. That's my boy. Spittin' Cobra, what up, brother? So if you haven't heard, if there's anybody in the room that didn't hear, we're at the Siegel Select on Irvington and Palo Verde. A man this morning around 8 o'clock or so, maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later, was banging on doors. Someone finally opened a door and he breached it, took the family hostage, held them hostage for a long time, let everyone go except for a 12 to 13, 14-year-old boy named Matthew. And then eventually they got Matthew out of there as well. And the suspect has killed himself, and they tear gassed the room, and now they're inside photographing and documenting everything. Who wants me to go inside the just walk right the fuck in that hotel room? I'll do it for $1. with my pants down. $2 with my pants down. No takers? Come on, you guys suck, man. It's only $2. Thanks, man. I've been at work all day long. I heard about this probably around 2 o'clock. I got out here around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Been sitting out in the back, been sitting over here at the Wendy's. We weren't really allowed to get this close because he was inside supposedly with a gun. So now everything is winding down, and they're just documenting. So the crime scene tape has shrunk to the second floor and a few hotel rooms. I think I could get past that one cop right there, the one that's actually paying attention. Yes, this Matthew kid is probably going to be messed up for life, man. Unfortunately, that's the situation. He's probably going to need some counseling and some lots of hugs, you know. And unfortunately, we don't know, you know, much more about it than that. You hit the like button twice? I love you. That's my favorite. That's when it says on my notification that someone hit the like button, and then I look and there's no likes. And that's my favorite. That's the best. I try to extend that courtesy to some of the bloggers and auditors and stuff that I watch too. So. And I can't hardly read anything that you guys are saying. My eyes are so bad right now. I've been staring at this little screen since 4 o'clock. 3:30, I think, actually. And my glasses are in my truck, and I'm old. At one point there were 15 SWAT in the back and maybe 12 up front and a bunch inside of the room to the left of the actual room that it happened in. So lots of money spent here for it to end with the tragic result of the guy being dead and them not getting their guy in, being able to take him to trial. And I'm sure everyone's sad about that. I have no idea. As far as I know, no one was hurt in this. Yes, mentally, obviously. The whole family's probably traumatized at this point, but I meant physically hurt. The only confirmation that I've gotten from anyone official was from a detective a few minutes right before I went live. And he pretty much confirmed the bulk of what I was informed of by the locals. Which, like I said, is 8 o'clock in the morning, a guy suspected of killing his wife or girlfriend was banging on these rooms. Someone finally opened a door. Lots of people I talked to had their doors banged on and they did not open their doors. I have that on static. I'll post later. But unfortunately, someone was dumb enough to open their freaking door, and it's not their fault, but unlucky enough to open their door, I should say. And he made his way in and kept them hostage for a long time, eventually let them go, and held on to one of them, a young boy, teenager, 12 to a 14-year-old. Eventually let him go, and in the conclusion of it all, he is apparently deceased inside the room. I don't know of what or how or whatever. I did hear an explosion. I don't think it was a gunshot. I believe it was a tear gas canister. And the SWAT team went up to the window with lots of cover and lots of shields, and then there was an explosion, and then they backed out. It could have been him killing himself, or it could have been them tear gassing the place. I don't know. My guess is he's been dead in there for a couple of hours now, and they just didn't know whether they should breach the room or not. The door was firmly barricaded. They tried kicking that in, and it didn't budge. Obviously, the next step was a window, which I don't know why you'd try to breach a door when you could breach a window. Yeah, it's not a good scene, man. And like Val said earlier, it's going to be a long time before he's, if ever, over it. But this is the scene. Got Mr. Strobe Light. He likes to dance. He's single, ladies. And he likes techno music, so and strobe lights. And long walks on the beach. Hate to crack jokes at a time like this, but I feel like sometimes things are so effed up and real that a little bit of humor can help. So, how you guys doing?
I live on the top.
Oh, above that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you can get to your room.
Yeah, I told my husband to see if I'm gonna. I wish my car. I gotta park it on the side.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
wait.
Yeah. Were you?
What happened? I didn't hear it this morning.
So like I was telling my viewers, the few that I have, at 8 o'clock this morning, a man was beating on the doors. Someone opened a door in that room. He broke in, held them hostage, eventually let everyone go except for the son.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he let him go. By the time the police are breaching the room, he's killed himself, or they got him. I don't know. He's dead though. Apparently the guy who kicked in the door, he killed his girlfriend or wife earlier today across town at 22nd Street. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And that's just what I'm hearing. I don't know any of this for sure.
It is true, because the lady came, the girl,
The mom to
the mom to the little boy or whatever
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
She was on that side.
Oh, okay.
She was trying to talk to the cops and tell them, let me talk to him. Maybe I can talk him out of it.
Oh.
They didn't let her talk to him.
Well, apparently they let him go. So apparently the man let the kid go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Like around 12 o'clock, they let the...
A detective said that all the hostages got out. So
Well, if he's going to my door, I'm going to go tell he's bitched.
yeah, and it might inspire him, to become a better person, a great person, someone who changes the world. Who knows? You never know with things like this. Traumatic events have a way of working different ways on different people for whatever reasons. Yeah. Yeah, at this point, that's all we can do.
Yeah, well, let's going to talk shit to her, because if he doesn't, I will. She has no business going to my room talking shit. I'm right here. I'm down here. Yes, tell her I'm here. Because I ain't afraid of her either.
I'll get the whole video, Mom.
She may be fatter than I am, but I'm going to
What are chocolate?
So I'm not sure. They're draping something over. Oh no, he's just throwing it inside. Oh, it was a body bag, I believe. They just fed a body bag through the window for them, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm not up there. Newfoundland in Canada, welcome. That's you know, something. I love YouTube for that we can all kind of have a community that we can be involved in that isn't separated by land mass and water, you know. Hello, how are you? New York Tyrant Hunter. Thank you guys for watching. The numbers are going down, people are checking out. I'm gonna probably get out of here soon. I'm being eaten alive by mosquitoes. I will give it a couple more minutes in case they are bringing you know, some facts to us. If they bring someone out in a bag, then we know that's what happened. If not, they might walk someone out of there. I don't know. They could have a guy sitting in a chair in handcuffs for all I know. I wish Tucson was like a lot of the other places where auditing is happening, where you know, we get to impart the truth to some of these tyrants. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, most of them are still tyrants, but they found a loophole where they are passive-aggressively disinterested in the guys with the cameras and use crime scene tape to keep everyone back. At some point, I hope to challenge the crime scene tape, but at this point, I don't think I could afford the ensuing legal ramifications of that. But I'm going to keep putting money together, and eventually, when they use the tape to keep the cameras out, I'm going to challenge it. And unfortunately, it's not today. So, hey, what's up from Tucson? You're all the way out there in Tucson. I'm gonna have to read that later. My eyes are really crossing right now. I left my glasses in the car and I've been staring at my phone screen for hours. I probably should not be doing that. I can barely make out a lot of words on my screen right now. So right now I'm in Tucson. I'm at the Siegel Select on Palo Verde and Irvington, off of the freeway. 8 o'clock in the morning, a man was beating on doors, and someone finally opened a door and he got himself inside and held a family hostage. It's rumored that that man killed his girlfriend or wife earlier on another side of town, not too far from here. Eventually they negotiated the hostages out except for one, and then eventually after that they got the last guy out, the young kid named Matthew. Then they have been here since 8 o'clock this morning. It's now almost 6 or after 6, and they finally breached the room where, as far as I can tell, the suspect is not alive. I did hear an explosion earlier. I don't know if I was too far away to tell if it was small arms fire, shotgun, or a smoke grenade, gas grenade, or whatever. SWAT was on the door. I have it static. I'll let you guys look at it later, and you can make a judgment call on that yourselves. I'm almost positive that this guy's been dead for a while now, and they just decided that that's probably what it is, so they breached the room, but filled it full of tear gas first for safety. So And as I was saying earlier, I had a really good shot. I was down at the end of that hallway, downstairs. You can't see it from here, but I was getting some really good footage for about 2 minutes or so when the manager of the hotel named Andrew, a beautiful specimen of a man, told me to go fuck myself, basically. He said, who are you? And I said, I'm just a local journalist. And he said, you need to leave my property right now. I don't appreciate this, and blah, 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 and got real snotty with me, and so I had to leave. So I've been at the Wendy's filming static for a long time until I felt like it was time to start going live. Yes, that's this, I think. It's a barricade situation. They barely just got the front door open. They've been using the window now for a while. They actually built some privacy wall in the window, apparently so that I can't get in any footage of it. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just the thing that he barricaded the door with and they pushed it over. But it looks like a bed and some other things. Yeah, man, anybody that ever is in Tucson and wants to hook up and go cop watching or auditing or something, let me know, man. I'm down. I haven't been able to get any great content lately. I've been really bummed out about it, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy that the cops are not quite the way they used to be. I don't think that they're all better people or anything now. I think that they just found a trick. Just ignore the camera and pretend it's not there, and anytime you want them to go away, put up tape as far and wide as you can. The other night I was live for the first time, an entire 4 square miles. They told me I wasn't allowed in it, even though nothing was evacuated and there were plenty of people there. I had to work in the morning, or I would have took the ride to county, but unfortunately that night I really needed to be at work in the morning, so I waited out and decided it wasn't good. So I don't know how they can decide that the one guy with the camera is not allowed in a whole 4 square mile neighborhood, but that is exactly what they did. And the guy snuck up on me too. I hadn't even turned my camera on yet. I was getting out of my truck, so I didn't get to film that part of it, but he certainly told me that I had to be outside of the quadrant and told me what the corners were, and the corners make up about 3.5 square miles of a neighborhood on Broadway and Pantano in Tucson. So that is the current situation in Tucson. If anybody wants to come down, maybe we can do some building audits or something else. But I promise you, driving around filming police events and traffic events and things like that are gonna net you nothing worth YouTubing about, that's for sure. Unless you like passive aggressive cops who ignore you and you know, like to use tape like it's going out of style. So I'd like to figure out a solution to my audio problems. I am going to pick up a good camera soon at Best Buy that has a nice directional microphone with a dead cat on it. That may be this weekend or next weekend. It has a zoom microphone and a really good 30 times zoom lens. So right now I'm working with my iPhone Pro Max and the gimbal. I hope everybody in the family who was held hostage is doing really well. I don't think they probably are yet. They're probably with a crisis team and getting some counseling for this. I'm certain the young boy is going to need that. Kick ass, man. I look forward to it. If anybody is new in the room and needs a recap on the situation, go ahead and let me know. I'm probably going to shut this down here soon. I'm getting text messages from my wife and she knows what I'm doing, and I'm sure everything's fine, but at the same time there's not a lot to show you guys. Good, man. West Side. All right, man. I'm going to shut this down, guys. I appreciate you being here. I will update. I will also take this video and some of the static footage and build something that makes some sense to everybody so you can get the full story. And like I said, I really appreciate you guys being here. Take it easy.